Welcome everyone to Your Our Unity, a show that wishes to spread a spirit of peace and love in the world, one conversation at a time.
None of that affects how you are going to change the world.
That's right.
No, it does not take one person to change the world, but it takes one person to believe in themselves.
Yes.
That they can make a difference.
I love
to
that.
Inspire others.
And that's why, for me, I try to make it my purpose now to try to help other people realize their self-worth.
Yeah.
Because it's so sad that so many of us, we get destroyed based off of what other people have to say.
Yeah.
I would say do it in your own way. Make sure you're doing it on your own accord and take a risk.
Go out there and live your life passionately. Believe in everything that you're doing and believe in the fact that you will accomplish every single goal. Welcome everyone to Your Our Unity, a show that wishes to spread a spirit of peace and love in the world, one conversation at a time. We want to encourage you to leave a legacy of unity. It is so important as we navigate this thing called life that we just lead with kindness, we lead with love, we lead with compassion. Let's ensure that everything that we do every single day is to uplift and empower others. We must walk with integrity, we must embrace each other's differences, and we also must celebrate our commonalities. It is time that we love on each other deeply and passionately, living a life that we will have unity, living a life that we can ensure that unity is had in this world. I am your host, LaShawn Walker. I'd like to welcome you in. Please like, share, and follow. Let everyone know that we're on right now. Please tag a friend. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. I am feeling so excited today for so many different reasons. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. I went and had a physical, and I got some really encouraging news about my health, and I also received some things that I need to work on. So I'm excited about, changing a few things in my life to see how I can come before you guys every week with a new sense of attitude and energy. But I'm really feeling really great at this time. We're in a new month. I hope that you guys are ready for what this summer has in store for you, and all the great things that you're going to be able to do as well. The weather is warming up, the sun is shining bright, and I'm just ready to soak it all up and soak it in. So I hope that you guys are doing the same. It's been a busy couple of weeks, as always. LaShawn is always on the road. She's going somewhere. She's supporting some events. And this past weekend, I also had the honor of doing just that. I was at the United Justice Coalition Summit in partnership with Rock Nation. It was amazing. If you remember, we had Starling Thomas here couple of weeks ago, and she shared, her experience, being incarcerated for a crime that she didn't commit, and how hard it was for her to navigate the justice system, and how hard it was for her to gain her freedom without being taken advantage of. And it's a beautiful thing that she fought, but the fact is so many people out there don't have the opportunity to have the kind of support system that she had, to have the resources to be able to set themselves free from an injustice system. So the United Justice Coalition is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to raising awareness and driving action on pressing issues within the legal system, bringing together a distinguished group of expert advisors from diverse fields. The UJC fosters collaboration, resource sharing, and innovative solutions. Through impactful programs and events, the coalition works to amplify critical conversations and promote meaningful progress toward justice and equity for all. Now, UGC Summit, which is what I attended, in partnership with Rock Nation, features a diverse array of esteemed speakers, panel discussions, networking opportunities, and exposure opportunities for participating organizations across the nation. The summit focuses on viable solutions to the challenges within our criminal legal system and provides numerous opportunities for attendees to learn, engage in conversation, and take positive action. So if you want more information on the United Justice Coalition, please email them or look them up at the unitedjusticecoalition.com. It was such an impactful event. The panel discussions were so amazing. They tugged at my heart at some times because they had, women and men who had been incarcerated and for unfortunate things that they got caught up in. They just took the wrong turn in life, but these crimes did not beckon them to have to serve the type of sentences that they were being challenged with. So if it wasn't for the support of a lot of organizations, a lot of legal experts that decided to take up the charge to hear their case and to actually place it before a court of law and get them true due process, a lot of them would still be incarcerated at this time. Their stories were riveting. A lot of them, once they left prison, they started their own organizations. They actually rallied together, and they're now helping others who are trying to navigate this justice system and doing it so that they can make sure that they're helping the next person along on their journey. It is unfortunate that the justice system sometimes is not actually just, but it's important that we educate ourselves. It's important that we get the knowledge and support needed in order for us to get the assistance to ensure that we don't become people that are always going to be in prison or going back to prison for minor crimes and mistakes that we make, but make sure that we're getting the necessary resources and tools available to us so that we can thrive in society. So that's what I learned this past Sunday. It was awesome. I advise you guys, as I mentioned earlier, to please look them up, www.theunitedjusticecoalition.com, and find out how you can help serve in some capacity and make sure that the people out there who are being challenged in their lives have some type of support, someone they can lean on, and some information and education that they can gain so that they can live a better life. So we're going to talk about living better lives as we always do. Today on the You're Our Unity show, I have an amazing guest who I love and adore, and she is living a beautiful life because she's serving. She's serving her community, she's serving her family, she's serving the youth. She is making sure that she gives of herself. And she's also placing in them the necessary tools and resources and information and education that they can use to thrive in life. She came here from Seoul, South Korea, and she made a life for herself. She was challenged. She had little things she had to navigate that she wasn't familiar with, but she made sure that she placed herself in situations and positions that will enable her to learn and grow and also bring other people along. So the title of the show is The Legacy of Unity, and we'll be speaking with the beautiful Soh Young Lee-Segredo. Born in Seoul, South Korea, is a passionate educator, community leader, and cultural ambassador whose life has been a testament to the power of diversity and the beauty of unity. After years of dedicated service as a teacher in the Department of Education, she is now preparing for retirement. Soh Young will leave behind a remarkable legacy, having spent decades empowering students and communities through music, education, and advocacy. In recognition of her lifetime of service, she was awarded the prestigious Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award by President Biden, a true reflection of her tireless efforts to uplift others. Her journey began when she arrived in the United States as an 11th grader at Newtown High School in Elmhurst, New York. After living in Paraguay and Brazil, Even as a young student, she demonstrated leadership, founding the Asian Club and Korean Club while working after school to support her family. She even learned English by singing in the all-city high school chorus, where she gained confidence and a deep appreciation for cultural expression through music. Soh Young Lee is the proud founder of the Multicultural Council of New York, a platform that fosters equity, diversity, and cross-cultural connection. She is also a nominee for America's Favorite Teacher Award, a testament to her decades of impact in the classroom and beyond. Throughout her life, Soh Young has accomplished and achieved so much, driven by a deep love for cultural diversity and the desire to create a more inclusive world. Her impact spans from classrooms to global platforms, where she has advocated for equity, peace, and multicultural understanding. Whether volunteering at local libraries, performing at iconic events throughout the country, or serving on various diversity and inclusion committees, she has always led with compassion, faith, and resilience. Soh Young believes in the power of stories to bridge divides, and through her own experiences, she continues to inspire others to honor every culture with dignity and respect. Her legacy is a vibrant quilt of education, faith, arts, and activism, stitched together with love for humanity and a commitment to building a world where every voice is heard and celebrated. So please help me welcome my distinguished guest, Miss Soh Young Lee-Segredo. How are you?
I'm fine.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, that is such a beautiful introduction.
Aw, I tried to come up with a way to culminate your full journey and legacy of unity and peace and cultural diversity. Like, I could have spoke for another 5 minutes, my friend, about all that you've accomplished. But I did. I know that I was a little long-winded there, my friends, but I wanted you to understand exactly who this woman is, all that she's done and accomplished, but more importantly, the fact that you're, like on the path to retirement in a couple of weeks, right? So I wanted to give you sort of like a nice, sweet going away,
Yeah, I just was thinking about some of the educational journeys, or you call it path, that I've been leading. And you mentioned about the prison,
Yeah.
and in people who are incarcerated. 2 decades ago, I used to volunteer and go into Nassau jail
Wow.
for women, and did the ministry.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it was amazing, and I bumped into a student mother,
Oh, wow.
and there's no way to hide when we go in to have a service. And she said, "Mrs. Segredo, don't worry about it. I'll be going home soon."
Wow.
So what I decided to do after the Christmas time, I have been there. I asked the Korean youth to donate the stamps.
Nice.
And so these mothers mothers and sisters and aunts, whoever were in the Nassau jail,
Right.
they can able to write the Christmas card
love
and
that.
mail out to their families.
I love that.
So we did collect at that time about
Yes.
several hundreds to dollars to donate it.
Well,
And,
clearly
I
they
remember.
need that. Attending this event just opened my eyes to a lot of things that I wasn't aware of. And when these people are in jail, they're doing time not just physically but mentally, you know.
Yes.
And they do need support of ministries and advocates and just people on the outside who can support them and uplift them while they're doing the time. So it is a blessing that you served in that capacity as well. She never ceases to amaze me, my friends, because I had no idea about that. I would have, put that in the bio as well. But yeah, they definitely do. They need services like that so that they're able to stay, just mentally stable and sane, because I know it has to be a very trying experience for them, especially when they're wrongfully accused of crimes,
So they are in the cell, and first of all, you are not freely able to do what you needed to do. So they needed to go through that emotion. And sometimes I connected that to some of the students
Right.
we have.
Right.
Their parents are in jail. It often brought it up to conversations with it. And we need to support them.
Yes.
So their well-being, mentally being in there while they're serving, we need to also think about families.
Yes.
That is also community,
Exactly.
being outside.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. And the fact that it was, you know, spiritually rooted, I'm sure, in you serving and uplifting these families, I think is even, you know, more impactful, because we need our spirits to also be uplifted and empowered and just
Yes.
kept up at all times, because it is a daunting, it's a very long process for some.
Yes.
And it can be draining as well. So thank you so much for that. Well, you know, like I said, we are here talking about the legacy of unity. And that's how you've lived your life, my friend, since you, probably even before you moved to the U.S., I'm sure, right? You were always about bringing people together and your family taking care of them, even when you were in South Korea and Paraguay and Brazil. So tell me, what does the legacy of unity mean to you?
I think world unity is the important vocabulary we need to identify. So when I use the word unity, it's embracing where you are about and the community around you.
Yes.
So in my case, my community was where I was born and going to school. But in the summertime in Gyeonggi province, now most of the non-Koreans live in Gyeonggi province, right next to Seoul, because it was getting so crowded.
Right.
And then now summertime, I'm visiting my grandparents' house, and in the morning, my grandmother will take me to get fresh pear from the tree,
Nice.
fresh egg. And she says, I want you to become a good singer. And she will just poke the holes in the top of the egg and on the bottom, and you drink it raw.
Oh, nice.
So that's considered a protein shot.
Right.
And then at night, going to house, learning about their traditional story, or what kind of vendors did they come and tell the story about what's going on. Then completely changed it to South America, and my community was sewing factory.
Right.
Right? So I'm learning about their culture, and Sundays is my day, only day off from the sewing. That community is a spiritual community supporting all the immigrants and the youth, and I had quite a lot of chances to be able to do solo. Same thing with the Paraguay. Then in here, Newtown High School community,
Yes.
I had a very good music teacher, Mrs. Newman, who took me under her wings. I was learning how to play piano with her husband. And then I got to join the Old City High School chorus.
Yes, I saw.
I mean, and then moved along and went to Queens College in education. And then I had a few professors who really took me under their wings. And I started to able to find the first job in Walden School, which I was assistant teacher to second grade.
Wow.
And I had a Lucille Ball's grandchild.
Oh, that's so
as a
cool.
student.
So when was the pivotal moment then? Because you've already navigated so many roads in that short period of time, because you were still very young.
Yes.
When was the pivotal moment in your life, even as a youth, that you realized that you wanted to be that person that bridged the cultural divide?
Well, I've been singing since age 2. And when I was in Elmhurst and going to Newtown High School, I was walking around finding a church. and I found a small house that's Korean church.
Aw.
And pivotal moment is all this time I've been singing and, continue to praising God. And the pastor says, what is your skill? And then I said, I sing, and I sing in the Newtown High School, and I founded the guitar club in Newtown High School. And he said, would you like to start the choir?
Wow.
So at age 18, I founded a choir, and my younger brother was tenor,
Aw.
and my another younger brother was bass.
So you started this choir with your family members, is what you did.
And I was a soprano and alto. Then one by one, people start to join. And even that church did grow so fast, they moved to Woodside,
Right.
and they have a huge facility there. Because I guess conductors often want to look at the experience, but later on they gain the experience, they want to move on to other churches, will provide more salary. As soon as they leave, here I am.
Wow.
I'm a substitute
Wow.
conductor.
You was thrust into that.
18,
Wow.
19, 20, 21, 22.
Oh my goodness.
The years that I had to take over. That's, I think, a beautiful moment because I could able to use God-given talent. Someone once told me, I'm a millionaire, but I wish I can exchange with you that $1 million with the voice you have.
Wow.
And said, it's not something that you can buy,
Yeah.
voice. So go back to starting with God and able to give back to the communities with the skill that I have called singing voice,
Yes.
and able to start the chorus.
I love that.
And then I continuously do different kind of chorus.
I love
And I
that.
took the chorus to 21 days to Europe. It's Multicultural Peace Mission Choir.
Yeah.
So who knows when I, retire,
you
I
really-
may restart up the chorus.
I think you should. You clearly knew that, the message and the music was a way to connect people, even at that age. So what was that responsibility like, knowing that you knew you had this gift of a voice? And you didn't want to be obviously a rock singer. You didn't,
No,
want to be
because I was a-
ballad singer.
Yeah,
you
I
wanted to
was-
sing songs with meaning.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was offered a few times to sing in New York City cabaret and nightclubs, and that's not, I think, where I fit. And so with your question about the gifts of voice, I think that said to God, I would like to continue to sing.
Yes.
I think I know how to sing, I said to
Yes.
God. And so, guess what, God?
Yeah.
I will not drink, I will not smoke,
Yeah.
and I will not drug. Could you able to continue to bless me with that voice? And then I will able to share with others. And that could become a capacity of serving someone who's thinking about killing themselves. And then one voice can have a meaning for that person. I have also several years sang in the Freeport nursing home, volunteered. And this once a month volunteer, it was more healing to me than them, because their faces light up when the music is just shared. So I said to God, could you able to give me that continuously until I die?
He has.
So
She
I've been
has,
doing
he
it.
has. She has a beautiful voice, and you do. You use it, and you use it with true love and compassion for the
Thank
task at hand, but also the hearers, the people that are going to listen. You have so much emotion and just truly oozing with love when you're singing. So
Some
I
of you-
enjoy it. I
Some
really
of you
do.
in the thank you. Some of you in the audience may think that I'm just spiritual Christian singers. I also make a point to show interest to multicultural folk songs,
Yes.
because folk songs is where the people's heart
Yes.
is started. So learning about Negro spiritual songs was so touching to me, because some of us we just sing, but we don't connect that.
You don't know the meaning of what you're
Possibly
saying.
even
Exactly.
Amazing Grace,
Yeah.
how the author started the song, and How Great Thou Art. How did these authors started? What journeys and difficulties did they go through, and then they did that?
Yes,
You know,
yes.
even things like Over My Head, okay, and Precious
from-
Lord.
They come from deep meaning and an experience, something that they were experiencing at the time.
So
And you sang them beautifully.
And I have a song, Lift Every Voice, in so many occasions. For Black History Month celebration, to 100th anniversary of NAACP. I was privileged to able to be the guest singer for that when we had a event.
Right.
Over 1,000 people gathered in Suffolk Community College.
That's amazing.
They just called my name Soh Young, and I was
Yes.
placed at 100th table. I had to run.
So do you hear that? All you have to do, you invite her as a guest and just call her name, and then she'll come running up to the stage. Well, let me ask you, you coming from a multicultural sort of background and living in these various different countries, tell me about what made you realize that, you know, you had to be a voice for diversity and inclusion from where you come from.
Yes, so first of all, I think I did, I don't recall. I have come to this show several times, but different time. Because first, I think that I needed to be a voice of women and girls who do not have a voice. Because as I told you, my grandfather was very upset. I was the first born grandchild.
Yes.
He canceled the few ivory limousine in Korea and went back home. So when I started to learn this, that pain my mother had to go through, she's a woman, she's a mother, and sister, and then, daughters. And then I had to hear about it. I'm sure it did affect my head, saying there are many people, they do not have a voice.
Right.
We say, oh, in America we have a voice. Didn't we just talk about the people in jail?
Yes. Yeah.
No, they don't always have a voice. The opportunity is not always given. Then we have to be like LeSean, and then we have in the audience Scotty today, and Soh Young. We have to be the advocating voice for women.
Yes.
Then later on, and I said, Soh Young, you're not the only one who started in Newtown High School at age 18. So you have to say, don't worry about it. You just got here, and I have students who came to my classroom. They start to cry. I just got here. I don't speak English. And then I said, listen, look at me.
Yeah.
You see I'm your teacher?
Yeah.
Yes, Mrs. Segredo. I did not know English at age 18.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You are in a 4th grade, 5th grade. You will get to learn that.
Yes.
So we needed to find a voice within ourselves. I don't know, oftentimes we may not know where this I can do all things possible, okay, through our own heads. But when we speak, their audiences, they are listening,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And then I said, people were putting me down because in Flushing, nobody was walking down the street with a non-Korean man when I was, dating my
Yes.
husband. So to me, okay, where in the Bible said love cannot be open,
Yes.
right? There is no boundaries.
Yeah.
And there is no boundaries, especially there is no boundaries of language.
Yeah.
Okay, no boundaries of the treasure we all share. Okay, so I said as biracial, there people use the words biracial. I use multicultural, but my husband from Cuba, but when he tells me his stories, his mother had to cross with her sisters to different ways get to Spain. Then they had to go to Portugal. Then they had to wind up in Cuba. It's all of us
The same
have
story.
different
Yes.
stories.
Yeah.
But I find, especially 2025, if some of you out there, thinking, why mix?
Yeah.
Why multiculturalism? Why we have to talk about equity and unity? Please, America is made of people who came from all over the world.
Yes.
Except the Native American. We are all immigrants.
Yep. Yep.
So if we think about that fundamental,
Yes.
how can we not embrace and open our hearts,
Yes.
understand people's tragedy and tribulations? Okay, that's when I opened my heart to know more about walks of African American people. And then I went to Tuskegee, and then Alabama. I went to Tuskegee, and then Selma, where first voting museum started.
Wow.
You know that? And then that's where I found it. We needed to understand other cultural and historical facts
Yes.
to how we can embrace what I call my country, America.
Yes.
Did you know Jewish shoe company from New York sent shoes? That's why in civil rights movement, people could be able to do 1 year bus boycott.
Wow.
You see, we needed to know these hidden treasures of stories. How did I know? Because I was selected as one of the 50 teachers who were given a stipend and then transportations to able to go to study civil rights movement. I was the only Asian. Okay?
So
and while we were going through the journeys,
Right.
there was rabbi with a little, yarmulke
Wow.
following us around. I'm the only one who asked him, what are you doing here? And then he told me that story. He's trying to do some history.
So
searching.
you immerse yourself, obviously, in different cultures, and you're inquisitive. You want to know more. You want to learn more. You're open to hearing other people's stories and their plights. And I think that that's where we fall short sometimes. We're so wrapped up in ourselves and what we experience and our problems and our family and our community that we don't want to open ourselves up to the fact that others who may not look like us still go through the same challenges and tribulations that we go through, even down to the same path on how their family even made it here in the first place. So I love the fact that you were open to gaining more information about others and their backgrounds and their stories, because you're an amazing storyteller, as you can tell, and it's because of your learned experience. Tell me really quickly, what challenges have you had to face, in promoting diversity and inclusion on your journey?
Well, no, always we have a little up and downs, but oftentimes we see Asians are not outspoken people. I'm even saying from my own point of view. Something happens, I just say, well, you know what? You had a short hand today. You need to be a little more patient. Oftentimes, it's because our journey and the Asian culture also influenced by Confucianism, okay, and Buddhism, which is focusing individuals to look within themselves, and then they don't speak out. But there were times I think that I was discouraged to speak up. It could have been different capacities, but I wish I was speaking up a little more loudly because I suffered a lot. So those ones who's out there, find the wisdom to able to speak up. That's not attacking anyone, but show the differences, and you think that you needed to gain respect and then treat it with the equity and able to give many opportunities. So I think the challenge is oftentimes our own cultural upbringing. Especially I left Korea 15, it's already all grown up. And another thing is you're doubting sometimes. We are not always sure about ourselves. But I think in that doubt, we question, inquire, and want to know more and seek. Knock on the door, and then you shall find. And so I think in my journey, I can say perhaps more growth and triumph compared to challenges. How about that?
I love that. I love that. And you're so right. It is a cultural upbringing, because even, you know, in my family, African American, we were told just to keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? Not to question anything, just to go fall in line with whatever is asked of you, whatever the principalities may be. You know, you just follow along, don't cause any shakeups or problems, and don't shine the light on you. You know what I mean? And I think that we need to just forget that, disrupt the powers that be, question everything, make sure that we're encouraging each other to, like you said, use your voice, because when you hold things inside for so long, unfortunately, it's going to affect you. You know what I mean? And you're not going to be able to actually live the complete and full life that God created you to have. So even through those challenges, as she mentioned, it is important that we learn to speak up and not to be silent all the time.
So these days, in starting end of May and June, since you know, I worked in Hempstead Union Free School District over 29 years. And from pre-K to 8th grade, Hempstead Union Free School District is international baccalaureate primary years program and the middle year program school. And from that, we are always trying to tell children from even pre-K, kindergarten, and our coaches, and myself in the Jackson Main and Jackson Annex coach, we're trying to tell children, you know, how about we research about that? Okay, when I say the research, I'm not just talking about science research or academic research. How about social emotional learning called SEL? We need to search within ourselves. What is bothering us? What is making you happy? Did you have any differences in home? And today, one of the students did not get to go to trip and was taken to another classroom to stay there. And then I just found out, you know, students whose father is in a hospital. And you can tell when I was taking students to another classroom, little bit reluctant and then little less open-minded.
Right.
So we all human beings.
Yeah.
It shows in
shows,
some
it
ways.
does.
So we always say, make sure you do express yourself.
Yes.
Communicate
Yes.
with the adult around you.
Yes.
Do not hesitate.
Yes.
Because this time we are doing something called IB exhibition, and sixth graders, people they move up to middle school, they show what they have learned.
Right.
And guess what?
Right.
Some children were doing cyberbullying,
Oh God. Yeah.
suicide,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, racism.
No one's questioning them.
And one class I was visiting, and the student was talking about suicide, and I just said, do you mind I ask you a question? Did you find the statistics? Which culture or country in the United States have the highest suicide? And the teacher immediately, go in there and then Google and then search. Guess what? Very sadly, Korea
Yeah.
is #1
That's horrible.
rating of
Wow.
suicide in U.S. and also in Korea.
Yeah.
So teenage suicide is so high in Korea, they don't even post anymore.
Yeah. No, I believe it.
We are living in such a complex world,
Yeah.
especially what we are also going through in here.
There's
And
so many
Korea
people.
tonight is the presidential election. We have to always sort of, I think that I'm learning, take care of me. Am I all right?
Yeah.
Because everyone tells me,
Yes.
So Young,
Yes.
you are only one.
Yeah.
If you don't take care of yourself,
Who's gonna
who's
take
gonna
care?
take care
Thank
of
you. Thank
And
you.
how
Thank you.
would you able to share with LeSean?
Thank you. All of her fabulousness. Which it's so sad that you say that, and it's even more sadder to hear that Korea is like #1 for suicides, but it's happening so often now, and it's actually happening now to a lot of adults who are successful, who are well-grounded, who have great jobs and lives and wives and families, and yet they're still, and husbands, and they're still choosing the path of suicide to set themselves free. And it is because of the fact that they don't use their voice, or someone like you didn't ask them the right questions, or get to know what was going on within them to understand how we can help you move past them or seek the help that you needed. So I think that is a very important class or program that you have in your school that is helping these kids now at a young age deal with their emotions and actually be able to share them and get them out. Now, you mentioned that you've been teaching for 29 years, and I understand in Hempstead.
In Hempstead.
29 years as an educator.
I've been teaching 45 years.
45 years, 29 years in Hempstead as an educator, and she is embarking on that big word called retirement. And so time doesn't get away from us. I want to understand what that feels like for you right now. What do you hope to leave as your legacy there after 29 years of service and pouring into those children and watching them? And I'm sure you're seeing them from when they were little to grown adults now, some places. So tell us a little about your decision to retire now, and what do you want to leave? What is that lasting legacy, that impact you hope to leave in that school?
Yeah, I guess that today I wanted to say that 34 teachers are retiring. And so I wanted to just to be the voice of those teachers who's retiring. In everywhere else, and especially Hempstead Union Free School District, because I shared with LeSean some of the pictures.
Yes.
And then some of these pictures were classroom teachers who's union president.
Wow.
And there were custodian, and some of those pictures I am keeping it. And I wanted to congratulate them as well. And I wanted to say that I think I will be continually giving.
Yes.
Once you have a spirit of giving, I don't think I will stop. But perhaps that journey will be different.
Yes.
Perhaps in local or global communities, who knows?
Right.
But I will definitely say that I want to live in a Hampstead known as, today someone quoted it,
Okay.
his assistant superintendent and said, there are many teachers come and retire, teach, and then they leave or they retire. But definitely someone like you will be missed. And I'm not often saying that,
Yeah.
person said, because you gave your heart and you gave your passion and you shared. So I will miss students, but hopefully some of the students who's now attending high school go to high school and then they find the art teacher who used to be the art teacher in my school,
Right.
and say, oh my gosh, you are in the Jackson, Maine? Do you know my teacher name, Mrs. Lee-Segredo? And then she goes, yeah, yes. Oh my gosh, you should really see how she's so exciting. We used to do cooking classes. That's called the stone soup. And through the stone soup, she would teach us how to open your heart and give and share, even though you may think you don't have. Because in that story, that's so old a story, you keep on thinking that, oh, I don't have enough. Later on, you open your heart, you have a carrot, you have a potato, you have a beef bone, you have, string beans, all the things. And she will just teach us about Korean culture. And she will talk us about a history of the soldiers in America, World War II. And she will do science because talking about raw, then cook it in the high temperature, then becomes a soup. So we were so excited to go to school. And when students say that to like the art teacher, she texts me saying, certainly, Mrs. Lee-Segredo, you did bring some joy to these children.
Yes.
And that's how we have to do.
Yes.
Not because of technology and because there are so many technology platforms, and not because there is AI. We just give up things that we do authentically.
Yes.
Especially young ones. Play through the playtime. You can start to sing the song. So, when we had a first time Hampstead Union Free School District is going into social media. So we have our own social media.
Wow.
I mean, today I'm promoting a lot about
saying,
Hampstead.
yes, you are, my friend.
And then we had something called, STEAM
Yeah,
night.
the STEM
STEAM
programs.
night. And just sharing with you, STEAM started in Germany, and Korean adapted it. And America cut down the art, and there was STEAM.
Yeah.
STEM.
Sam, yes.
Anytime there is a funding going away, they cut down the arts first.
Yes.
I heard it, last week, the Flushing Town Hall that's serving so many people, they're cutting down the budget. So they only have 2 more shows that they can able to do that audience can afford $20 per ticket, and you can see the world artist that's going out.
Wow.
But it's a time to go back to science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
Yes.
I mean, all along I've been doing that, Sean, in
Right.
my class, you know, and well, while people thinking that there is not enough time to teach, while I have a 15-minute break, I didn't go to the break.
Yeah.
I will sit over there and cut the different fruits.
Oh my God.
And then cut it open, and children can able to share
Yes.
and to see the inside and outside,
Yes.
and what does the inside look like, and then bringing out Korean fruits. Okay, pomegranate,
quality
which is
time.
known also in Spain.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to tell all the teachers who's there,
Yeah.
out there, who are not retiring yet. You can find many possibilities.
Yes.
Make your classroom joyous.
Yes.
Then you can get joy and spread that joy with your students.
Yes.
And your time will able to come to serve.
Yes.
Serving will end. All right? We have somebody named Miss Green, retired after 40 years in Hempstead. And I was not able to stay, so I'm leaving after 30 years and 6 months from public school setting and 15 years in private school. I was nursery school director in many times, and Sweet Angels Nursery School in the Woodside, Church in the Gardens in the Forest Hills,
Wow.
and
So-
Rosedale through Memorial Daycare.
Basically, she has done it all in every type of school system and curriculum you could imagine. But what you're saying and what I hear is for you to spend quality time with the students and to forego
Absolutely.
the just regimented curriculum sometimes.
Correct.
And actually listen to the children, share something from your own personal experience and your culture in order to open up their eyes to want to learn and gain more, because technology cannot raise our children. It is that personable interaction, that care and concern, that desire to want to pour into them to make them greater in who they will be in the future.
There's a coaching
I
book.
love that.
In coaching book, that's called the relevant relationship. But if you do not have a relevant relationship
Yes.
with your administrators and colleagues, parents, and students, you may have some difference in opinions, and that will shut it down.
Yeah.
But you need to continue to have the relevant
Yes.
relation. You know, also another thing,
Yeah.
I used to do Korean dumpling fundraising in Jackson, Maine.
Nice.
I made $800.
Everything is food or
That is
food or song.
so $800 was
Oh my
good money
God.
some 20 years ago.
That's amazing.
And then I made a relevant relationship with the parent, and parent had a restaurant
Wow.
across the street.
Wow.
So person said, I will support you. Go ahead, Mrs. Segredo.
Yeah.
Let the children learn how to fold the dumpling skins.
I love
And
it.
then we will come through the window, because I was given the largest classroom in Jack's main building. And then have a tray and then go and,
then-
cook
and
and,
then-
bring.
and look at
And then
that.
whole school smells so good.
I love it.
We got more orders, more orders.
I love it. And they're learning. And they're learning.
And they're learning
in
about
addition to that.
cup.
I love it.
They learned about the cup and the 2 cups and ounces and milliliters and the liters. And,
Well,
and my principal would come, and then I even wrote a song. I even wrote a song, and then we needed to put, how do we put all these treasurable resources? And online we have so many resources, and then I don't want to miss to mention, and May was Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Yes.
But during Biden administration, first time they added it Native American Hawaiian, because they were left it out.
Yeah.
Okay? And then it was Caribbean Heritage Month
Right.
and Jewish Heritage Month. And because Jewish is considered not even minority, they said, it was not even mentioned. You see? So we have so much opportunities to learn and grow. And then I didn't
And
get to see
include each other.
Yes,
you know
I
what
didn't
mean?
get to see the pictures of a
Yeah.
Turkish community where I sang.
I saw that.
Turkish Turkey is now called Turkiye.
Oh, wow.
Turkiye. They went back to their own native word.
Right.
And it's just so interesting how I learned also Turkish song. And then I
sing.
opened the mouth and then in Turkey, and this family was
Well,
crying.
I will say, my friend, in every culture, in every background, in every nationality, I think that you have served and you have shared your talent, your delicious food, your voice, and I know for the school, Jackson, what is it, Jackson Elementary? Exactly,
Main
Jackson Elementary, you're gonna leave a lasting legacy. I am so grateful that you came and you shared your story with us. Time is winding down, and I wanna thank you for everything that you shared, even from last year, because I felt it was necessary that we bring her back, because you know, this woman could literally tell us stories for days and days and days, and we cannot put that in this short amount of time of this show. But for the fact that you're retiring, I just want to wish you the very best in your future endeavors. We're still going to be hanging together. We're going to be doing stuff
Of
together.
course.
But the fact is that I wish you the very, very best in your
Don't
future
forget,
endeavors.
this year's our
Yes, and our
Unity
Voices
Day.
of Unity Day. So listen, I want to put up her information. I want you guys to follow this amazing woman, the Multicultural Council of New York. And if you want to check out everything that she's doing everywhere, you go to her website at sohyoung.com. Oh my God. I went on there. I was so shocked. I'm even making a few appearances and I didn't even realize I was on there. I was like, oh my God. And my audience member, Scotty, as well. We are all up and through sohyoung.com. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. I honor
Thank you for
everything
having me.
that you've done in your life. And I know that you're going to do even more. You're just going to do, you've already done spectacular things. Now you're going to do just extraordinary things. That's what you're going to do.
You are providing
Yes.
opportunity
Yes.
for a lot of people
Yes.
to able to have a voice through our
My
unity.
platform. I love it.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So we're going to get real quick to the Dare to Be You. And it is Dare to be the bridge that connects hearts like Soh Young Lee-Segredo. Dare to be the voice that celebrates every culture like Soh Young Lee-Segredo. Every story and every soul. The legacy of unity isn't just about what we achieve. It's about who we become when we choose compassion over fear, connection over division. So dare to be live, to live boldly, love deeply, and lead with purpose. This is your invitation to carry the torch because you have the ability to be the unity the world is waiting for.
Wow.
I like to thank
So
you
beautiful.
so much. Thank you because you, my friend, are true
So
representation
let's
of all
learn
of that.
Korean word.
Yes.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
You said it so beautifully.
I love
Thank
it.
you in Korean.
We like to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Our Unity. We will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you, my beautiful guest, Soh Young Lee-Segredo. You have a wonderful evening, and we will see you soon. I love you.
Bye.